So here we have a function. We need to determine its limiting value when x approaches square root of 10. So we'll begin by doing a little bit of algebraic manipulation here. So this given function can be rewritten as limit x going to the square root of 10. So we have square root of 7 minus 2x. So we here have square root of 5 minus square root of 2. So this can be rewritten as the square of square root of 5 minus the square root of 2 divided by x squared minus 10. Now this will become evident in a moment. Now we have limit x going to square root of 10. So we have 7 minus 2x. Now we're going to expand square root of 5 minus square root of 2 whole squared, and that is going to give us square root of 5 squared plus square root of 2 squared minus 2 times the square root of 5 times the square root of 2 divided by x squared minus 10, which is equals to limit x approaching square root of 10, 7 minus 2x minus, now here we have the square root of 5, which will be simply 5 added to the square root of 2, which is 2. So 5 plus 2 will give us 7 minus 2 times, we can multiply the number within the square root, so that will give us 5 times 2, which is 10, divided by x squared minus 10. Now when we substitute for the value of x into a given function, so we get square root of 7 minus 2 times the square root of 10 minus 7 minus 2 times the square root of 10 divided by x squared, so which is the square root of 10 squared. So that will give us 10 minus 10, and thus give us the value 0 over 0, which is an indeterminate form. Now from here, what we have to do, we have to rationalize the numerator. So let us begin with that. So we take the conjugate of the numerator, that will be square root of 7 minus 2x plus square root of 7 minus 2 root 10 divided by the same conjugate, which will be square root of 7 minus 2x plus the square root of 7 minus 2 root 10. Now we'll multiply the numerator. So this is following the identity a plus b times a minus b. So that can be rewritten as the square root of 7 minus 2x whole squared minus the square root of 7 minus 2 root 10 squared divided by x squared minus 10 times the square root of 7 minus 2x plus square root of 7 minus 2 root 10. Simplifying the numerator, we get limit x approaching square root of 10. So we have 7 minus 2x minus 7 minus 2 root 10 divided by x squared minus, so here 10 can be rewritten as square root of 10 whole squared. This was done because we can expand it using the identity a squared minus b squared, which will give us one factor as x minus square root of 10. because we are getting an indeterminate form, so that means we had to get rid of x minus square root of 10 from both the numerator and the denominator. This was the common factor that was leading to the indeterminate form of 0 over 0. So let's complete the denominator. So we have square root of 7 minus 2x plus the square root of 7 minus 2 root 10. So this would finally give us, not finally, we have still a couple of steps remaining. So we have limit x going to the square root of 10. So our numerator, in the numerator, the 7 and 7 will get cancelled out. So we'll be left with negative 2x plus 2 times the square root of 10 divided by, so we're going to factorize x minus square root of 10 multiplied by x plus square root of 10, and we have the remaining terms, which is square root of 7 minus twice x plus the square root of 7 minus 2 root 10. Now from the numerator, so I'm going to rewrite in the previous step. So in the numerator we have, if we take negative 2 as the common factor, so that will leave us with x minus square root of 10. So what we can do, we can cancel out x minus square root of 10 from both the numerator and the denominator, and that will give us negative 2 in the numerator divided by x plus square root of 10 multiplied by square root of 7 minus twice x plus the square root of 7 minus 2 root 10. Now we substitute for the value of x, so that will give us negative 2 divided by, so we have square root of 10 plus square root of 10, that will be 2 times the square root of 10. We have 7 minus 2 root 10 plus square root of 7 minus 2 root 10. So they are the same terms, so we can add them up, and that is simply going to give us 2 times 7 minus 2 root 10, and we can erase this portion here. So this will be equals to, so we have negative 2 over the 2 and 2 get multiplied to give us 4. So we can factor out 2 from both the numerator and the denominator. So we factor out 2 from the numerator and the denominator, and that leaves us with negative 2 over square root of 10 multiplied by the square root of 7 minus 2 root 10. Now we can go ahead and further rationalize this given value, and that should give us, so I'll leave this as an exercise for you to try out. So we have negative times the square root of 5 plus the square root of 2 divided by 6 root 10. So this is going to be the limiting value of the given function when x approaches the square root of 10. Let us do another problem. So we have to determine the limiting value of the given function when x approaches 1. So when we substitute for the value of 1, the value of x with 1, so we get 0 multiplied by negative 1 divided by 0, which gives us an indeterminate form of 0 over 0. So that means we need to factor out x minus 1 from both the numerator and the denominator. So let us begin with that. So we have, so since we have root x minus 1 involved in the numerator, so what we're going to do, we're going to multiply by the conjugate of root x minus 1, which is simply root x plus 1 to both the numerator and the denominator. 2x squared plus x minus 3. So we'll multiply square root of x plus 1 to both the numerator and the denominator. Limit x going to 1, so that will give us, so we can take the product of root x minus 1 times root x plus 1, so that is following the identity a minus b times a plus b, so that will be simply root x squared minus 1 squared times 2x minus 3 divided by, so we can factor 2x squared plus x minus 3 by splitting the middle term, so that should give us, so we have 2x plus 3 times x minus 1 multiplied by square root of x plus 1. So that will finally give us limit x going to 1. So root of x whole squared will be x. So we have x minus 1 times 2x minus 3 divided by 2x plus 3 times x minus 1 times square root of x plus 1. So we can factor out the common factor, which is x minus 1, from both the numerator and the denominator, and that is going to leave us with limit x going to 1. So we have 2x minus 3 divided by 2x plus 3 times square root of x plus 1. So we do a final substitution for the value of x, so that will give us 2 minus 3 divided by 2 plus 3 times square root of 1 will be simply 1, so we have 1 plus 1. So we have finally negative 1 multiplied by 5 times 2, which is 10. So we have a limiting value of negative 1 over 10 for the given function when x approaches 1.